Hey, hi, and hello, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you are doing well. And it's time for our weekly track roundup, my feelings, my thoughts on a bunch of songs that have dropped over the past week or so. Yeah. Gonna do that. Gonna give you those thoughts. Gonna give you those feelings. All the songs I talk about in this video linked down below so you can check them out for yourself. And yeah, also linked down below, we have our Turntable Lab link. If you go over there and buy a turntable, some records, whatever they got over there, they're a cool little online retailer. We get kickback from it, so that's great. That's fantastic. Thank you. We appreciate it. Also, we appreciate if you join in with our Patreon community, get access to our Discord and some bonus monthly content and everything for a very cheap monthly tier. That would be great. That would be amazing. We would love that. You don't have to, but if you want to, it's there. It's an option. And yeah, the worst tracks of the week. Let's get into them. They are as follows. We have a couple. One being this new one from the Smashing Pumpkins from their forthcoming record, Beguiled. It's like 3 discs and like hours of material. It's kind of big, but it's going to be dropping next year. So they've announced this one pretty far out. Maybe we're going to hear a lot of teasers. I don't know. But all I will tell you is that this Beguiled track is not good. It just sounds like a very bad thrash metal song. And I feel like Billy and the band have no business sort of doing anything in this vein, at least at this point in time, because it's just very mid. We also have this new one from Disturbed. Hey, you! Like jump the fuck up riffs flying in every direction. It's a gross ass Disturbed song, and David really needs to like switch his vocal style up. I cannot believe he's like doing the same boring one note, one dimensional scream that he's been doing for years and years and years, and yet it somehow still works in a way for the band. Whatever. All right, let's move on to the tracks that I was met on the fence with, but you might enjoy them more than me. They are as follows. We have a new one from Channel Trace. It's groovy. It's linear. It's, again, it's got a nice beat. It's kind of entrancing, but definitely not as vibrant or, as aggressive or as like, I guess like really demanding that those hips move, like some of the best tracks that Channel Trace has put out thus far. But yeah, again, the song is not too bad, and the track is titled No Limit. We also have this new one from Stormzy over here, which, has bars, has a decent beat. Mel Made Me Do It is the name of the track, but it's just too long. It's just too long. I mean, I love Stormzy's flow, his delivery, a lot of things about what he does, but I think for what the content is and for what the pacing is, I just think this is just too lengthy of a track, frankly, honestly. It really does start to lose me around the halfway point. Moving on from there, we have a new one from Sam Smith and Kim Petras. I mean, in concept, a really cool crossover. Awesome that these two are on the same track. I feel like, in terms of their respective audiences and their levels of vocal talent, they most definitely, deserve a crossover like this. But I don't know, instrumentally, vocally, I think this one's just a little too over the top. It's just trying a little too hard to be like, the all eyes on me banger that it wishes it was. But, I feel like the delivery and the performance is a little forced as a result of that. I mean, it's produced to the nines, don't get me wrong. It sounds like a big budget went into this thing. It sounds huge. It's gigantic. It's a banger. It's trying to be a banger, but I think something about it, again, feels a little forced. And as a result of that, it comes off just, I don't know, off. That's really all I can say about it. But, there have been plenty of Sam and Kim tracks that I have enjoyed respectively over the years. But this one together is just not, I don't think went over as smooth as it could have. We have a new one from Poppy over here, FYB. Poppy going punk on this one. It's fast, it's riffy. It's far from one of my favorite Poppy songs, but it is cool to hear her exploring this genre a bit. I mean, let's continue to listen and see if she dives further into it, what else kind of comes out, if she does more punk cuts like this, more hardcore, fast, very small, brief, to the point songs in this fashion. We have a new one from Lil Nas X. This one over here, Star Walkin, is apparently like, tagged to the League of Legends brand and everything. And yeah, sounds very big budget, sounds huge, has like some EDM and subtle drill touches too. It's not too bad. I mean, the writing is very average and, it sounds a tad bit overproduced, but it's listenable. I suppose it's listenable. We have a new one from JELEEL over here. Deliver is the title. I think it's a bit of a bop. It's just a little short. I think it needs a bit more breathing room and building time and kind of, development time for it to really truly hit. But what's here is not too bad as far as the synthy beat, and JELEEL's very energized delivery as usual. We have this new one from GloRilla and Cardi B, which is definitely not the fireworks that I thought it was going to be. I mean, Cardi's not too bad on the track, but I'm just not really hearing what makes GloRilla such a standout that this crossover needed to happen in the first place, honestly. Truly. We also have Willing to Trust, this new one from Ty Dolla $ign and Kid Cudi. It's got some decent vocal passages on it, I will say, but I feel like there aren't really too many peaks emotionally. Intensity-wise as well on the track. So as a result, I feel like the whole vibe of the song, even though there are some pretty vocal lines on it, tends to kind of melt together in a very one-dimensional way. Was hoping for something a bit more dynamic on the songwriting side, I suppose, but hopefully Intergalactic is, the deeper cuts are a bit more eventful. We also have this new one from Moneybagg Yo. Moneybagg Yo, on this track, Blow, he's flowing, man. He's flowing a little bit more than he usually does. I mean, granted, the chorus is a little whatever, but I feel like vocally he sounds way more engaged on this cut than he does typically on many of his songs, and I think it's the better for it, frankly. But yeah, not too bad of a cut from Moneybagg Yo, someone who historically I'm not super crazy about his stuff. And yeah, let's move on to the best tracks of the week. We have quite a few. This has been a very busy, dense week. Let me try to get through these efficiently so we can give you guys some good recommendations. We have this new one from YG over here. Maniac is the title of the cut, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's got a bit of a classic, YG, instrumental on here. If you've heard his first two records, you know the kind of beat I'm talking about. Very direct rhymes, very great delivery. I feel like YG is in his bag a little bit again on this one, and hopefully he continues with this consistency. YG, when he makes a song that plays to his strengths, it's great. It's just sad and unfortunate because he often does not put himself in a position where he is, in fact, doing that. We also have this new one from Worm over here. Really lengthy intro on this track from a forthcoming EP the band has coming out. But once it really gets going, it is some fantastic blackened death metal. And yeah, great atmosphere, great riffs, great vocals, great speed, great intensity. It's sounding really sick, really good. Metal fans, pay the fuck attention to this band. They're doing sick stuff. Moving on from here, Shadowside Kingdom is the name of this track. We also have this new one from Baby Tate. Two new tracks, in fact, Dancing Queen and Yasss Queen. One's a trap banger. One's a smoother R&B style cut. Both are quality. Looking forward to the new project coming out very soon. Baby Tate continues to show her versatility. We also have this new one from Red Hot Chili Peppers, forthcoming record very soon, very soon, very soon. I laughed at the last single and track 2 come from this album, but this one over here is actually not too bad. Eddie is a good melodic, jammy rock cut with some great-ass guitars, some good drumming and bass. And yeah, Anthony Kiedis, I think, is mostly on point with the vocals and lyrics on this one. It's not a goofy goober of a song. It's just a good, nice, sweet, classic melodic rock tune in that, very memorable Red Hot Chili Peppers flavor. Sorry, I skipped forward a little bit too prematurely. We have this new one from Quadeca over here, who is like really gone full tilt into this experimental shoegaze, indie, bedroom pop, emo folk singer-songwriter deal that he flirted with a little bit on his last record. I wasn't born yesterday is the refrain on this track. The track is titled Born Yesterday. It is a huge, epic, multi-phase cut with a lot of flavor, a lot of soul, and a lot of passion. I'm loving this one. Really cool. All right, moving on from there, we have the greatest, the most fantastic, the most amazing Natalia Lafourcade coming out with a new record very soon. De Todas, Las Flores is our first taste of it, and it's just like a really killer cut with some beautiful balladry at its core. And yeah, I mean, would we expect anything less from Miss Lafourcade? No, we're getting that fantastic singing and songwriting as we typically often do from her stuff. And yeah, shout out, big respect, and cannot wait for the new record. It's gorgeous. This song anyway. We have a new one over here from Mamalarky, an artist who I don't think I've talked about often, or maybe I'm talking about the first time at this point. This song over here really surprised me with its cool meld of peppy indie rock, a little bit of math rock mayhem, but then also some psychedelic passages as well. Shining Armor is the name of the track, and yeah, it's really colorful, really fun, and liked it a lot. We have this new one over here from Jamie XX. Great samples, great grooves, very direct, very dancey, very funky. Jamie XX killing it once again. Kill Them is the name of the track. Check it out, check it out, check it out. We also have Freddie Gibbs over here, liking this new single a lot more than the last one with Moneybagg Yo. This one over here, he has a super melodic flow, really singing much of the time on the track. Great instrumental, very passionate performance. Dark Hearted is the name of the song. Kicking ass, and looking forward to this album for sure. We have over here Flow, which I don't think I've talked about this trio before. You know, they have a really classic, like 2000s era R&B pop sound with great vocals, good songwriting, and yeah, it's just really bright, it's really bold, it's really fun, it's really snappy. Not My Job is the name of the track, and yeah, they're killing it on this cut. It's a really good cut. Liking it. Big respect, big respect, big respect. It's you know, again, got a bit of a vintage flavor. You know, they're not they're not coming out of the gate with a trendy R&B sound that's totally like, you know, ignorant to the genre's high points and past. They're really plugging into something classic on this one, and, you know, putting a bit of a modern spin on it. It's cool. It's nice. Good, good and refreshing sound on this one. All right, we have this new one over here from The Cool Kids, Chuck English, Mikey Rock, Sparklers is the name of the cut. It's got some features on it as well. Banger beat, good chemistry between everybody. Very creative, very weird, very left field, very heavy, very bassy. Liking it, liking it, liking it a lot. Key and Reese LaFlare are on the song. We have a new one from Björk over here, third taster of this forthcoming album. This is the biggest teaser for the LP, Ancestress, and loving this one the most. This is the best teaser we've heard from the record so far. It doesn't really have any of the passages from the past two that are like maybe a little too rigid or boxed in or a little too repetitious. This one feels a bit more open, more flowy, more just like boundaryless, and I'm just kind of loving that. Plus the vocal layering and vocal work are beautiful on this cut too. We have a new one from Magdalena Bay from the expanded edition of their latest record. This song over here that they're treating us to is kick fucking ass, like really as good as any of the central, you know, cuts on Mercurial World. Unconditional. It's a nice little fun, quirky left field synth pop cut. And yeah, it's just got great vocals, great beats, good hook, good songwriting all around from Magdalena Bay. We have a new one from Autopsy, new taster of their forthcoming LP. This one is short, it's blistering, it's in your face, it's noisy, it's chaotic, it's really kind of classic Autopsy all around, truly and honestly. Knife, Slice, Axe, Chop is the name of the cut. We have Alvvays over here. They've hit us with a few new songs from their forthcoming LP, but this one over here is a bit synthier than we've heard the band go in the past. Very Online Guy is the name of the cut, and yeah, it's just like a really good synth pop cut with an indie twist. Very bright, saturated mix, very colorful, and some good vocal hooks as well on this one. We have Alice Longyu Gao killing it on this new cut, Make You Love Me. So just insane vocals, crazy transitions, total chaos, total mayhem, totally catchy, totally insane. Really like the next step, the next phase for hyperpop, if there is to be one. Really like some post-hyperpop insanity, if you can call it that. Again, she really killed it on this cut. This one's amazing, if not, you know, well, I think it definitely is my favorite Alice cut so far. If you know, if you've not heard her music yet, this would be a good introduction. All right, shout out to the 1975 favorite teaser from the forthcoming record so far. All I Need to Hear. It may be a slow, kind of stereotypical spotlit piano ballad, but I think Healy's vocals on it are great. Chord progression solid. Heartfelt tune all around. It's really good, really quality. Liking this one a lot. And that has been the weekly track roundup, everybody. Hopefully you got some good recommendations out of this video. It was a dense week, a lot of songs to talk about, but again, all of them are down below regardless of how I felt about them. And let me know what you felt about them in the comments. Mwah. I'll see you in the next one. Anthony Fantano, Tracks, forever.